This is the Effing One Podcast, Australia's only Formula One podcast with Adam and Luke.
G'day and welcome to Effing One Podcast, Australia's only dedicated Formula One podcast. Have we checked with anyone yet if that's true or not, Luke?
No.
Okay, we're just going to go with it. The first race of the season has come and been decided. The waiting is over. Everyone has finally shown their hand. And a big, fat, full house of awesomeness. It's a beautiful hand. So let's jump headfirst, pants down, into the Australian Grand Prix. Luke, Melbourne, it really turns it on. First race of the season. What'd you think?
Thanks, Adam. I must say, welcome back to real life.
Thank you.
You're out of the paddock. You're back in the Seaman-stained hotel room that we're staying at.
Correct.
The Casa de Seaman Travelodge. The Spooger Lodge. And as with every Grand Prix we attend, the sad bit sinks in. The Grand Prix over. We don't go to Bahrain or back to Europe. We go back to the Gold Coast with our normal
Lives.
You with kids.
2 kids.
A leaking house.
Yes, it is.
And I go back to
Instagram.
being in bed alone without you.
You're going to miss me. You're going to miss going top and tail with me, aren't you, in the bed?
The problem is, no matter which way we go, junk's still at the same spot.
Correct.
It's surreal this time.
It is.
We brushed shoulders with the elite.
Yeah, we did.
We shook hands. We talked. We conversed. We made others laugh.
Well,
Mainly ourselves.
yeah.
It's all over.
It's very moving, Luke. Moving introduction. It's
I can see it moving. You should put that away.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. It was that paddock is wild. It's crazy. There's a lot going on in there. And the pack down was really fast as well. Some of the guys said, oh, you watch, during the race, they start packing down. It's true. They pack down during the race.
Yep.
Turnstiles are gone. I go, where do I swipe in and out? You don't. It's gone.
You had to make the noise yourself when you swiped in.
Beep, boop. Welcome, Adam, to the paddock.
Your penis is large. You added that bit and it was odd.
Yeah. I looked around and go, wow, this computer knows everything. This computer is really good. It's all knowing. It's like
I just sent a face pic for
Yeah.
my pass. How did you? Yours was a different kind of pic.
Yeah, mine was a dick pic.
Yeah. Got it from one of Sebastian's many.
Yes. Oh, before we go any further, as is Formula Effing One tradition here, we do have to wear the native garment, the native outfit of the host country, and that host country being our very own, being Australia, we are wearing Bond singlets, stubby shorts, and we have a can of 4X. That sweet golden amber. Always goes down
I dated
smoothly.
a girl called Amber.
Shall we?
Yeah, we shall.
Oi, Sheila, give me another one. Isn't that what we do?
Thanks, Bruce.
Thanks, Bruce. And we're Bruce. We're going to call ourselves Bruce.
Yeah, this is Bruce.
And I'm Bruce. And welcome to F1 Podcast. Oh, that's English.
Fucking hell.
Damn it.
You don't even know how to do an Australian
I
accent.
went into a Cockney.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I went into a Cockney voice.
You've heard too many Brits do.
We've been hanging around
Australian
Brits
Bruces.
for the last 4 days. That paddock is full of Brits.
Yeah.
Smattering of Germans and a touch of unpalatable Dutch. Oh, there's Italians as well. So what we're going to do is go straight into let's keep this short because we had a big chat as we did post qualifying with Sean Kelly, the Formula One stats guru, the stats man to the stars.
Tim Tam Sean Kelly.
We call him Tim Tam Sean Kelly now because he pulled a Swifty on us.
Was it Sean Tim Tam Kelly?
I think it's Sean Tim Tam Kelly. He
'Cause
told us
it's like a wrestler name. We put the nickname in between.
Yeah. Because he told us a story that we fell for because we're gullible. He said that AJ, Alan Jones, Formula One,
His last Australian Grand Prix.
World Champion 86, was it?
He's world champion 80, but yeah.
Aussie, last Aussie World Champion. Sean said that he convinced us that AJ qualified with a packet of Tim Tams
I wasn't convinced.
in the wing. But the way he sold it, he really...
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it was just me.
Yeah.
I am extremely gullible. And I
They
went,
could sell
no.
ice to Eskimos.
Yeah. And then that's what we brought Sean as a peace offering. We bought him a packet of Tim Tams today. And he's going to eat them with a cup of tea Well, he's going to do the Tim Tam bomb, which is very Australian. You bite both ends and you suck up the tea in the Tim Tam. So let's get straight into that chat at the paddock with Sean Kelly.
I'll give you a level. I'll level with you, in fact. I will say conclusively that this was the greatest Grand Prix that we have ever had today.
In the history of today. Sean Kelly, Formula One stats man and guru, making stats the rock and roll since 2003. That's your motto.
Most def.
Welcome back to FM1 Podcast.
Thank you. It seems like it's been so long since I was last on the show.
I know, and the same spot outside the Formula One paddock. We got drivers.
Well, I'd be remiss not to be here after last night's festivities.
And thank you for joining us, and we've given you a little gift.
Yes,
Tim Tams, as you got us an absolute beauty after you said AJ qualified with Tim Tams on the wing.
Yes. And we've given you a nickname. It's Sean Tim Tam Kelly.
I did see that. I did see that when I was coming on the way into the track this morning. I saw that.
Do you like that nickname? Is that okay?
We'll go with it.
It's gonna
I think Australians have the tenacity to go for much more insulting nicknames should they see fit.
You got off light. You got off very lightly, my friend. Enjoy it. Yeah. So, Sean, the race. You were calling the race.
Well, I wasn't actually on the PA today.
No.
If we'd had a safety car or a red flag or something like that, I would have chimed in a little bit. But mainly I was in my regular role, which is yelling at the commentators and telling them what to say.
And how was that for you today?
It was good. It was cathartic.
It's
the first time I've done it since the end of 2017. Didn't do it at all last season, so yeah, it's nice to be back. I'm like Danny Kafir. I take a year off and I'm back.
Speaking of which, holding off Gasly. Wow.
Hey.
Could he be, I mean, he's been demoted twice. Could he be demoted back in to Red Bull?
That would be promoted, surely.
Promoted.
Yeah. Well, every time Kafir...
There goes Hulkenberg.
There goes... Yeah, go on, wave you... Well, there's a person here with a giant cardboard cutout of his face, and they've completely missed him. They've completely missed him. Nico Hulkenberg was walking about the giant cutout, and they're not doing the thing.
We've got the lookalike Nico Hulkenberg. We've got the real Nico Hulkenberg, and we have the giant-headed Nico Hulkenberg.
Yeah, there you go. That's life. They probably don't recognise him because he's not wearing his Renault gear. He's back in his normal clothes. Anyway, where were we?
Any unusual stats today?
Yes, there were. And that is Bottas wins the race. Lewis Hamilton was second. I believe there's been 8 previous occasions where teams finished 1-2 in Melbourne. On every occasion, that team's won the Constructors' Championship, and the driver that won the race won the title.
Wow.
So Valtteri Bottas, historically, has locked in on a stat that has a 100% success rate right now.
He has some big shoes to fill.
And did you hear the radio on the slowdown lap?
No.
He said, and I quote, "To whom it concerns, fuck you." He really said that.
Really?
He really said that.
Who was he talking to?
It was just note to the world.
It's probably me. To whom it concerns.
Yeah, it's like, wow, okay. Well, yeah, take that, bitch cakes. And my God, we were looking at each other in the booth today and saying, where the hell's this come from? I mean, he's absolutely schooling them.
You know, I think it is the beard. The beard gives you mysterious powers.
He is 1 for 1 with the beard.
As I am one with a beard.
Hashtag fear the beard.
Fear the beard. It's going to go. It's a movement.
Yeah,
Losing hair off my head and it goes down on my face.
Mine comes out of my nose. But Mercedes did discover some floor damage with Lewis Hamilton's car subsequent to the checkered flag. So it is possible that Hamilton was somewhat hobbled. But let's not let that get in the way of a really good story. The fact that Valtteri Bottas had a winless season last year, 7 second places without a win, the most second places by anybody in any championship without winning a race. I think it's nice symmetry that he won the last race of 2017 and the first race of 2019, but didn't win a race at all in 2018.
Yeah, wow.
So the manner of the victory was fantastic. And then when he just moved to strap 3 at the end and then knocked a second off the fastest lap just to say, yep, don't even think about it, guys. I got it.
That's impressive.
So it was very, very impressive. And certainly the tonic that he needed after where he was last season, where people were starting to question, well, he's not all that good, is he?
Yeah.
Well, might have to revise that now.
Yeah. Check that out. You see, when he was on the podium, just the look on him, like he was just that determined, like...
Yeah, I mean, just to say, the fact that he just, on the slowdown lap, he came out with that expletive.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even unbridled joy, it was just like, yeah, it was just up yours, everybody. Yeah. Take that.
No more team orders, Bottas.
It's funny, I had conversations with people in the paddock this morning who were convinced, like, Mercedes, they say that they're allowed to race, but really? And I said, look, we were in this situation in 2016. Hamilton was on pole, Nico Rosberg was second on the grid. Hamilton had won the last 2 titles. after you, Claude? No. Nico Rosberg won that race and won the title.
Yeah.
That was the last time a team finished 1-2 here. Rosberg won the race, and then that played out again. So, yeah, we have a quite different perspective on things now. An unexpected perspective. Everybody was lining up a Hamilton versus Vettel narrative, which we now do not have. Hamilton's now finished third from pole position in Albert Park for what? 4 years in a row?
Yeah.
It's astonishing.
Is there a reason why he gets so many poles and doesn't convert them into wins?
I think there's not a reason. It's not like he suddenly forgets how to drive around the track. It's just it seems to just slip through his fingers all the time. In 2016, he had a bad start. He was sixth at the end of the first lap. In 2017, he got stuck behind Max Verstappen after his first pit stop. And in 2018, Vettel checkmated him by pitting under the virtual safety car. In this instance, if there was damage, that is mitigating circumstances, but Bottas beat him to the first corner. And that's a significant part of it.
Yeah. Speaking of Vettel and Ferrari, that was quite interesting to see
Leclerc, I think you were going
Leclerc, sorry. Leclerc not overtaking when he was clearly faster than Sebastian.
Yeah.
Is that team orders? It kind of smelt like it.
Well, we had surmised that the best thing Ferrari could do in this situation is bring Leclerc in again, because he had one more brand new set of soft tyres waiting in the garage. So if they'd boxed him at that point, he had 30 seconds advantage over Kevin Magnussen. He could have taken a free pit stop, put the softs on, taken the fastest lap, and stole the fastest lap point from Bottas and Mercedes.
That's
now,
true.
World Championships have been won and lost over such thoughts, and I'm surprised Ferrari didn't take that risk, because as regards pit stops go, that was a low-risk call. Okay, box him, and if we mess it up, well, Vettel's still where he was, but Leclerc could steal from Bottas. So why not do that? Why didn't they do that? I mean, people were also saying on Twitter, well, look, Bottas has got enough for a free pit stop too, but he's in the race lead. That's a much higher risk thing. When you're tooling around in fifth place or wherever you are, it's like, yeah, we may as well go for it, you know? So I think Ferrari made a strategic mistake there, and just think if we get round to Abu Dhabi and Vettel loses the title by a point, imagine that's the kind of thing where you can win and lose it.
We actually mentioned that before, where it's teams doing the opposite to take a point off someone. So if they're outside the top 10, say if Gasly was outside the top 10, do the fast lap, come in, do the fast lap, you're not going to score points, do the fast lap, and that takes a point away from your possible contender. So it's a matter of thinking outside the box, and Ferrari clearly didn't do that today. They dropped the ball.
I had a brief conversation with Olaf Mol, who's the commentator for Dutch television, just before we started this recording, and he said, well, you know, that Bottas fastest lap, I mean, he took a second off the best time, but 3 or 4 races down the line, he might regret it, because that might have strained the engine in a way that Mercedes won't have enjoyed. So there is another aspect to that.
So, Sean, what do we know now that we didn't know before the race? What's the difference? What
do we know that we didn't know a couple of hours ago? I always knew this, but once again, it seems the media have been suckered into the idea that they can form a perfectly representative picture from testing, which is not the case. Ferrari were yet again winners of the World Championship in the winter for the 4th year running, and here we are sitting at what time is it now? It's just gone 8 o'clock in Melbourne, and they've just lost the Grand Prix by 57 seconds over 58 laps.
Amazing.
So that shows you what you need to know about pre-season testing and the relevance of that to the first race of the season. I'm sure Ferrari will be sitting there going, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
We heard Vettel on the radio say, why are we so slow?
Is it a track thing? Is it specifically a Melbourne thing that they're not as fast as they were in testing?
Well, Melbourne is an outlier in terms of performances over a course of a season. That part's true. I think the true world order will be established in Bahrain and in China, which are much more like most of the other circuits. But I'm sure Ferrari are still incredibly disappointed by the pace that they showed. I mean, they were beaten by Red Bull. Max Verstappen on the podium. It's Honda's first podium since 2008. First time they led a lap since 2008 as well. And Red Bull, one thing we definitely know is that the engine change or power unit change from Tag Heuer Renault to Honda has certainly not inhibited Red Bull. You know, it might not have made them more competitive, but it has not made them less competitive.
Would they be standout number 2 team right now, Red Bull?
I wouldn't go that far just yet.
Too
I'd
early?
say the jury is out. I mean, I'd even say the jury is fully out on Mercedes' level of dominance. I mean, we saw Bottas absolutely smash the field today, but we don't know if that's going to happen every week because this track is relatively unusual. The DRS certainly had an effect today. We had more overtaken today than we had in the previous 2 years here. So we know that is a winner because this is a very hard track. Second hardest track on which to pass. Only Monaco is a harder track. So we've learned that too.
Yep. We had some overpassing. We had some overtaking today, which was good.
Yeah, and you didn't. When the cars were actually dicing, you actually genuinely felt like that you had a shot at passing the guy.
Yep.
To the point where I thought Verstappen may get Hamilton for second.
Yeah.
There was a point where I thought if he gets even a whiff of this, he'll have a go. In the end, it didn't. But you were still sitting there thinking, well, he's not just going to cruise up to the back of him and then just park there for the rest of the afternoon. He might actually have a shot at it.
Yeah. Although in the press conference, Max did say that he couldn't feel any difference with ease of overtaking or getting closer. He said there was no change, as did Hamilton.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which I thought was interesting. Yeah, I thought they might have felt a change because it looked like they were definitely closer and more overtaking moves.
So, well, I mean, they're in the cars and we're out the cars.
Yeah,
so in the car, maybe they have a better handle on it. But certainly it seemed, statistically speaking, I can certainly say it was better today.
Yeah, and you are the stats man. You talk from stats.
Yes, pure numbers-wise, it was better. What the circumstances behind why it was better is to be debated.
Yeah. What about Renault? Sure, disappointment with Dan. I don't know. Was there a pothole on the side of the?
It was what happened was he hit the lip of the access road. So when you come off the start-finish straight and you turn, if you have to do a U-turn to go round into the pit lane, there's a little access path there. And as he moved wide to go around the racing point of Sergio Perez, the car fell into that lip and tore the wing off. And it's an incredible thing. And Bob Constanduros mentioned it in our commentary today, that when you do a track walk, you walk out of the pit lane, you go all the way around the track, and you come back into the pits. You don't do a track walk on the start-finish straight. So it might be the one area that he didn't look at. So when he moved over, he didn't think that it was going to drop in and tear the front wing off. So it was incredibly disappointing for this crowd that within 5 seconds of the race start, we had Daniel Ricciardo's Laurel and Hardy car, goes. But he did. I tell you what, he did a really good job to avoid having a big crash at the first corner because he was woeing that thing up all the way. And the fact I was surprised he got it stopped.
Yeah. Interesting thing. He said he doesn't do track walks anymore. Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh well then. Well, there we go. Yeah, that's all you need to know, right?
I want to get on to just briefly because we're talking about overtaking before. We have some awards that we give to drivers after the Grand Prix. And one of the awards is the Lick It and Send It award, which is given to the driver with the best overtaking manoeuvre. I've got my favourite. Do you have your favourite overtake for today?
The only one I can remember is Verstappen passing Vettel.
That's the one.
Yeah. I mean, those others, Lando Norris got Giovinazzi, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the most significant one by far was Verstappen getting Vettel.
Yeah.
Vettel seemed to be just reversing backwards
that
all
Honda
afternoon.
Went past him, blew past him from turn 2 down to turn 3.
Yeah, we were having a conversation. When was the last time a Honda car was a good Ferrari?
When was the last time a Honda was on the podium?
The British Grand Prix of 2008.
Jensen?
Rubens Barrichello in the Works Honda. Yeah.
Bang. This is why we've got him here.
Yeah, I mean, we thought if he gets Hamilton, that's the first top 2 finish that Honda have had since Jensen Button won Hungary 06.
Yep.
So it's been a very long time.
Yeah. Another award is the Green Award for lowering their carbon footprint from an early retirement, and that goes to Carlos Sainz.
No, I think the pollutant of burning the car probably didn't help. Yeah,
Definitely not carbon neutral.
No.
The next award is the Pasta Maldonado Award, and I'll pass this over to you, Sean. Who do you think was a little bit reckless this weekend to get the Pasta Maldonado Award?
That's an interesting one. Well, as reluctant as I am, I might have to give it to Daniel Ricciardo.
Wow.
But it wasn't his fault, clearly, because you cannot expect that happen. If you just put a wheel off at the start of a race, because you're going for that position, and it would anywhere else it would have been fine.
Yeah.
And he just fell off at the one bit. He didn't fall off. He moved offline onto the grass to get around the racing point, and then bang. But it did look like a Pasta Maldonado thing, because I've never seen anybody quite like Pasta Maldonado when it comes to crashing on straights. I can think of at least two instances in his F1 career where I saw him crash on a straight because he was too busy messing around with the steering wheel or looking at his And he went off on one time he was going down, he went down to Buxton at Spa in pre-practice one year, and he went off in a straight line because he was too busy dicking around with his steering wheel that he wasn't watching where he was going.
It's like a Grosjean warm-up lap.
This is why you don't text and drive, people. The next award is the Effing One Podcast Award for making Formula One great again. And this week, I'm going to give it to Tim Tam Kelly for joining us on the podcast.
Right.
He wins
Look at that.
this week's.
Amazing. There's like 50 people around and no one is applauding. No one is applauding.
They don't know how to.
It's like one of my birthday parties.
Everyone turned up for cake and no one knew who you were.
Exactly.
And the last award is the UGE Day Award. And we all know what UGE is.
What, for having his super license revoked?
For being useless.
Who was useless? Well, once again, we have mitigating circumstances. Dangerous. Dan Ricciardo. Here he comes. Don't think he's going to be in the best of moods. But he's made it through the. But he has made it through the paddock gate without anything falling off. That's good. Suitcase hasn't fallen apart. A lot of kids around Daniel Ricciardo.
Still love you, Dan.
Danny boy! Yeah!
There he is. That's nice.
He's our Pasta Maldonado. You got the Pasta Maldonado award! Oi.
Don't tell him that.
What just happened?
I mean, I
couldn't help myself.
he's had such a shit day. It's such a letdown for this whole crowd. I mean, it's such a great event. And the Australian crowd, they're owed a good result.
I know.
Really.
First lap, it's all over.
Yeah.
But you know what? Grosjean as well. Another lovely guy. And it's like, are you serious? Another
9
tyre?
starts. Yeah, 9 starts in Australia and
Two
six
times in a row,
retirements.
Back-to-back years. It's just not. It's not cricket, Sean.
It's not cricket.
It's not, mate. That was shocking.
Yeah.
What is wrong with the Haas bloody the pit crew? Frightening.
I don't know. No, I don't know what's going on there. It's coincidence. But I mean, Kevin Magnussen was 6th, so that's the first time Magnussen scored a point here since he's been on the podium on his debut in 2014. So a good start by Haas. A frustrating start. They could have had more, but it's better than they did last year.
Yeah. Your star of the race?
Valtteri Bottas, got to be, because he did something that no one here in their right mind. The fact that we're people who trying to convince me before the race, they'll never let him win. There's no chance.
It's the first race of the season.
If he's ahead, they'll do a little bit of switchery. They'll bring him in for an extra stop and get the fastest lap or something like that. And instead, Bottas just whacked everyone.
You said yesterday he put his business card on the table. I think he just littered the business card all over Albert Park.
Exactly. I mean, that was the thing. After I saw that lap in Q2 yesterday, I thought, just a gentle reminder. But even I didn't expect to see what we saw today, whereby Bottas got the lead, and you would think, okay, how does Hamilton respond? And he didn't. It was like, oh no, not how Hamilton responds. Watch this. Let's see how Bottas bitch slaps everyone in the field. And then at the end, he crosses the line and gets on the radio and says, fuck you.
Yeah, he did. And you kind of caught it. You said yesterday the hot tip was Bottas.
Well, if you're a betting man, I would have still gone, look, Hamilton's the most likely winner.
Yeah.
But certainly if you fancy a gamble,
well, I did,
Bottas
Sean.
is your
I
man.
put a $5 on it, and you won me $31.25 Aussie cents.
All right, you probably
Thank you,
still got like
Sean.
$26 left over after those Tim Tams.
Yes. Good Tim Tams.
Oh, there will be good Tim Tams.
You will enjoy the...
I certainly will.
Big disappointment, got to be Gasly. How does the Red Bull not pass a Toro Rosso? How's that possible?
It is a hard track to pass, and it maybe Gasly was a little bit what's the word, reticent, because I don't want to crash a Red Bull into a Toro Rosso. We Gasly, this is just a push. No, they're not going to bother with this weekend when in the grand scheme of things Gasly's a lot better than that. We're going to Bahrain next, where he qualified 5th on the grid last year, finished 4th in the race, which was Honda's best turbo hybrid result until today. But the big problem for Gasly's weekend was qualifying. The fact that he got knocked out in Q1. Helmut Marko said Red Bull owed Gasly an apology for the poor strategy that they employed in Q1. So really, they made a rod for their own back. So Gasly, let's try again in Bahrain.
And what happened to Lando? Race winner Valtteri Bottas coming through the paddock right now.
Valtteri Bottas, yeah, it's top man. He's incoming.
You won me $31.
$31, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bottas.
Doesn't
Well,
pay
don't tell
for
him
your
that
flights.
because he might ask for a cut of that.
Yes. What's the Finnish currency?
The marker.
Marker.
Yeah, marker.
He's put down a marker. That's what he did.
He has
today.
put down 31 markers. Or actually, in championship sense, he's put down 26 of them.
26 markers, thanks to the fastest
Here
lap
comes
point.
Valtteri now, being ushered through.
There's Valtteri. Give me a round of applause.
Once again.
Valtteri Bottas.
Well
Yeah.
done, Valtteri.
There we go. Nice one, son.
Well done. Once again, completely ignored by another driver.
He's
here
ignoring
on the
everybody
F1
because
podcast.
he's saying 6 hours ago, none of you bastards cared about me, and now you're all my buddies. Yeah. We won't say who that was. No, we won't say who that was. Yes. But yes, Valtteri definitely made a point today, didn't he? Good luck to him.
And what happened to Lando?
I don't know. I confess I wasn't tracking him in the booth today, so I'm not sure. Look, we might be about to be moved by the security people. Although we are credentialed, so
Microphones, which
yes.
is very intimidating.
yes, exactly. They wouldn't approach us while we're in the middle of recording. What happened to Lando Norris today? I think what happened today was probably the McLaren punched above their weight in qualifying. Maybe it regressed a little more to the mean, which is, I mean, certainly his race result was more indicative of where we thought that McLaren probably were. So yes, that's my wonderful insight into Lando Norris's day.
We've been given the wind up by security. They have been lovely all week, but they are now getting cranky. So let's wrap this up. Sean
Yes.
Kelly, you have won me $31. You have a packet of Tim Tams. You are the stats guru. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on F1 podcast.
Thank you.
We'd love to have you back.
Everyone's a winner.
Thank you, Sean.
My pleasure.
Enjoy the next round, and we'll speak to you hopefully soon.
Yep.
Maybe Skype, telephone call.
Maybe so. Peace
Maybe.
out, Australia.
Sean Kelly, what a great guy.
Thanks for your time, Sean.
2 nights in a row that he's bothered to spend some time with us.
3 nights. He gave us 5 minutes on Friday night.
That is
before his
true.
F1 experience.
And we also met Will Buxton halfway through the podcast yesterday. He dropped in and gave us a couple of great Aussie impersonation.
Bruce.
Yeah, he does a good Aussie impersonation.
Yeah.
So that was great. That was at the paddock. A lot of drivers, just weird, just doing a podcast with drivers walking past, and we
And
just
the pack down. Wow.
Yeah.
That thing's quick.
and we just stopped the podcast to shout out to a driver.
Yeah.
Hey Stroll, you're shit.
Hey, Ricardo, you got the Maldonado award.
You're rubbish, Rick.
Watch out for the gutters.
Yeah.
Maybe call him Gutterball.
Kimmy, you rude prick. Fuck
Just
you.
emote. Why don't you emote?
Yeah. Esteban, you're a legend. Yeah, so that was really great. So let's recap on the championship points, Luke. Who's winning the individual championship?
Championship points. Well, it's today. It's going to be Valtteri Bottas, and Valtteri Bottas also got the fastest lap of the race.
He
He
did.
also won the driver of the day.
Got the bonus point?
He got the bonus point, so he gets 26 points from the weekend. Lewis Hamilton with 18, Max Verstappen 15, Sebastian Vettel 12, Charles Leclerc 10, Kevin Magnussen 8, Nico Hulkenberg 6, Raikkonen 4, Lance Daddy Boy Stroll with 2 points for Racing Point. So they should be
Impressive.
called Racing Points.
Yeah, they've got points.
Yeah,
It's
not just
impressive.
there you go. And Daniel Kvyat with 1 point. Rocket Man.
He's a rocket man.
So we're going to actually, later on in the year, we're going to figure out a theme song. So if you've got any ideas for drivers and theme songs,
Good thinking.
give us a shout out.
Like they're about to walk into a boxing arena. You need a theme song.
And Kvyat's would be Rocket Man
Rocket man. It's a given.
from Russia.
So we'll
And
take your feedback on that.
Also, we've got what we call a Dung Championship. It's new to the podcast. So the idea is having
When you say dung,
dung, poo, shit, feces,
It's actually-
excrement,
it's a real-
meld,
it's a human nard,
human nard,
which
yours.
has been spray painted in gold and preserved. And popped on a bit of nice oak.
It's been pickled. It's a pickled nard,
Pickled
which we
nard,
will take out.
covered in gold.
Then we will dehydrate, put
Yep.
it onto a trophy, and give it to
And give
someone
it-
in Abu Dhabi.
Correct.
Which we won't be attending.
So it's the reverse of the World Championship
Yes.
trophy.
So if you're last, you're negative 25 points.
Yes.
That's the idea, and whoever has the most negative points is the shittest and gets the turd of the year.
Which we will then hand deliver to them.
Yeah, we'll just squish it in their hands.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. So on that dais in Abu Dhabi, the 3 winners of that race will leave, and we bring on the NAD Award champion and present that trophy to him.
We're not going to put them on the podium. You can't put them up there. It's a religious place. You can't put anyone who doesn't deserve to be up there. So you put them under the podium. And then you drop a big bag of shit over the top of them.
And then they get awarded.
It's like the ice bucket challenge with turds.
Yeah, so they're covered in shit, and then they're holding some pickled, spray-painted shit on oak.
That's correct.
Wood. Yep.
Spot on. So the championship of the Turd Championship is Carlos Sainz, -25.
Twive.
Don't you know that's how Australians say 25?
Twive.
Twive, mate. Ricardo on -18. Grosjean -15. Kubica -12. The next one is George Russell -10. Giovinazzi -8. Alexander Albon -6. Perez -4. Norris -2. Pierre Gasly -1.
Yeah, Gasman was pretty rubbish today.
Yeah.
Pretty rubbish.
But yeah, it's not too bad. He didn't crash into anything.
That's
he
true.
Couldn't get past Kvyat, and he did start pretty low. So he made up a few spots. He just couldn't get a point.
Just sat behind a Toro Rosso for the 3/4 of the race. Nice job. So now it's time to catch up with Sebastian Vettel, 4-time world champion Sebastian Vettel, who is apparently going to be coming to the apartment anytime. Here he is now.
How convenient.
I might just duck off and...
just lock yourself in there.
Yep, I'm going to go in the bathroom. He's not a fan of me. Big fan of yours, which is great. So if you wouldn't mind just getting the door. Hi! Hi, look. It's me.
Hey, Sebastian. Thanks for popping around.
Oh, jeez, it's hard to find this place. This place is a shithole.
You've
What do you
been
call-
here before?
Yeah, this place is literally a shithole. I've been in this room before. Oh my God, it's the same room as before.
Oh, so that's your stain on the side of the wall.
Yeah, do not get one of those blue lights, look, because this thing is going to glow like a fucking Christmas tree. This half is semen stains are mine, probably.
So how was your weekend?
Yeah, we thought, we thought we had a fast car, and it didn't feel right from the start of the practice sessions here in Melbourne, so it was a bit tricky.
You're the king of winter testing, and now you didn't even make the podium today.
Yeah, that was maybe you can't see too much into the practice, sure, and the testing. So we just think maybe the car was feeling a little weird for me in the practice sessions and the not riding qualifying. So and in the race we've a bit exposed, but you know what that's like. Look, being exposed.
Please don't look at me like that.
But it was a tricky race, and lucky if I did the team orders and I said, do not let that fucking Leclerc pass me, please.
He was close.
Yeah, so I made sure I put a stop to it. And I said, we don't have team orders, so definitely let him drive no closer than 12 meters.
12 meters.
12 meters,
Very
please.
specific.
Yeah, that's what I said. So we will be better. Maybe the track does not suit our style or something. This is possible.
One more thing.
Sure.
You're going to keep the mustache.
Yeah. Don't you like
It's
it?
not an omen that it was a bad weekend. Maybe it's got something to do with
No,
the bad facial hair.
I like the moustache. Do you not like my moustache?
I don't...
Touch it.
No.
No, come play, please.
No,
Just
please.
feel it.
No, I'm not going to. Don't touch me.
Don't go against the grain. Always go with the grain.
I think you
Yeah?
need to go.
Okay. Sure.
Thanks for stopping by, Sebastian. It's always an experience.
Do you want me to jack off? Or something? Are you sure?
Or something. You can...
There's still some
you
spots
can
on the
leave.
wall that haven't been completely Sebastian Vetteled.
Don't worry, Adam will get that later.
Okay, see you guys. Bye. Can I come out now,
Jesus
Luke? Can I come out now? Is he gone?
I
Is he gone?
never anticipate the...
He's crude and rude.
It's Germans. It's fine.
Yeah. It's funny when you meet him in real life. He's so different to when you see on TV. I mean, what we just got then is... He mustn't think these microphones are on. It's weird.
I thought he had a bit more of a sense of humour. It's just all sex with him.
Yeah.
Also want to touch on the Constructor Championship. Mercedes is out in front with 44, Ferrari 22, Red Bull Racing is 15, Haas holes on 8, Renault 6, Alfa Romeo Racing 4. The Racing Point is 2 points, and Toro Rosso is 1 point.
Yes, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in Bahrain. That is going to be intriguing whether or not the advantage that Mercedes seem to have will continue, whether Ferrari can bring it back, and Red Bull, are they now the number 2 constructor?
Number 2.
It's interesting.
We're going to go through our predictions.
Okay.
We brushed on it. We didn't go in too depth. We kind of made an assumption on how the teammate battle would be, and that was our predictions for this weekend. So we both chose Hamilton, so we were wrong. You went with Sebastian, I went with Leclerc.
Mm-hmm.
So you get 2 because it's quali.
Okay.
As well, so I'm going to give you 2.
Okay.
I think you've lucked out on a lot of this week. Max, we both cancelled each other out. We both went for Dan. Magnussen, Grosjean. Grosjean out-qualified.
That's correct, but Magnussen outraced.
Magnussen outraced. So we cancel each other out there. Kimi, Kvyat, Perez, we all went the same.
Yep.
We were right, wrong, because Lance Stroll did a very good job. Hulkenberg did Daniel, but none of us chose the opposite. We both chose Max, and Max dominated Gasly. Then we got Norris and Sainz. You went for Chuck Norris, and Norris out-qualified and outraced.
Oh.
Because Sainz
Lucky.
DNF'd.
Lucky me.
So you get 2. And then we have the Russell Kubica. I went Kubica, you went Russell. So already you have a 6-point lead.
Wow.
Yep.
I mean, this looks bad for you again. I mean, I smashed you last year.
I will at least wait till the Chinese Grand Prix before I wave my white flag.
Cool. Now, that's a good idea. There's still plenty more to go. There's still a lot of racing to be had in 2019. It's going to be awesome. Big thanks to your mum, Luke's mum, affectionately known as Luke's mum, for the spread in the hotel. How did she get it here?
Uber Eats again.
Uber Eats.
Yep. She delivered us a lot of chocolates because she knew we'd be low on energy. So we've been smashing down a block of Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate.
Luke's mum, it should be said, always makes sure we're well fed after a podcast. She knows we get very peckish, and she always makes dishes from the host country. So thank you, Mrs. Luke. I think we've got some lamingtons. Are they some lamingtons? Yep. There's meat pies, all your native Australian dish favourites. There's Vegemite sandwiches.
Fairy bread.
Pavlova.
Oh,
delicious. So thank you, Mrs. Luke, for always
thanks,
taking
Mum.
care of us. We look forward to what she's going to whip up next at Bahrain.
And in the next podcast, we'll have producer Pete back.
Oh, good.
Because he's wasted all of his money putting it on some dodgy cockfighting.
Yep. That's his weakness.
Is it his hobby?
It's more of a weakness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cockfighting. He does love to put a couple of bucks on the cock. Getting hold of us for comments on our Twitter page.
Instagram.
One.
Yep. Thanks to Sean. Thanks to Will. Thanks to anyone who gave us advice, was having a listen.
Yep.
We appreciate your
feedback.
Spoke
to the great Ed Straw.
Yep.
What a great guy he is. Yeah.
Very nice.
He's a lovely guy. A bit of an idol of ours.
Yeah.
Very wonderful guys. Great podcasts.
Yeah.
Great columns.
Ed Straw's good journalist.
Yeah. No, they're really great guys. So thank you to all the guys that said g'day and helped us out and had a chat with us. And we'll be back next week. And, of course, check us out on our Twitter page and Instagram. Bahrain, Luke. Let's do it. Shukriya. Salam alaikum.
What he said.
Shuzalamam. Bada.